CP24, Toronto's breaking news.
Hi, how are you doing, Farah?
Good.
Your previous guest was talking about environmental security, food security. A person who lives and breathes this issue is our guest today, Rosaline Presence. She's from the Women's Cooperative Program at Women on Farms Project. Her home is South Africa. She came specifically for the G8, G20 to make her voice heard on behalf of the women on her organization and came for the People's Summit. Now, we've been talking a lot about security in our country, the physical security in Toronto. But when you and I were talking about security, you talked about food security, gender security. Can you share with us that?
Well, I'm from South Africa, and we work with women on farms. And in South Africa, 1.5 million people suffer from food insecurity. So what it actually means is that we're working on a particular farm, who is a Tesco supplying farm in South Africa. And there's this woman that she has to feed 10 people in a house with 18 Canadian dollars, which is 140 rand in South Africa. So how can you justify people going hungry, but yet they are the people who are producing the food in South Africa?
Which is the food that ends up, of course, on our tables in Canada, in the United States, around the world. The world's attention right now is focused on South Africa with the World Cup, not necessarily on the other issues in South Africa. What's the other side of South Africa that the world needs to see here at the G8, G20?
Well, what I actually want the world to see is that the millions of people who ends up on street without security or family, the millions of women who have to go to bed hungry because they have to feed the kids from the minimum of salary wages that they are earning. And what I also want the world to see is that some of our people who are living in formal settlements who doesn't get a basic need such as a toilet or even water. And I also want the world to see is that how many women in South Africa have to stand up every night and they still have to go out and work, but yet they are not safe. Women are getting raped, women are getting even robbed, not only robbed from, they have to walk in unsafe spaces, but also robbed from their dignity.
Extraordinary words from an individual who lives and breathes and works on this issue every day in South Africa. We hope your message will be heard by leaders here in Canada. Thank you, Rosaline, for sharing that with us. Back to you, Farah.
Okay, thank you so much, Greg.